What's going on, everyone? It's Blizzard, the coach of your Ursa Major, and we are here knowing that we've already made playoffs, which is really nice. Coming into week 8, we've already made playoffs, and not only that, we've secured the 3 seed. So that means I get to choose my opponent for playoffs, and I get to choose between the remaining 2 options that haven't been picked by the 1 and 2 seed, meaning I can avoid the team that I want to avoid, but that also means that this matchup technically doesn't matter in terms of anything. All it really does is allow me an opportunity to become a little bit more comfortable with some of my Pokemon, especially with some weirder sets on them, or some sets that I haven't run before. Like this Ursa set, for example, is very standard, but I haven't run it before at all, so it's something that I want to familiarize myself with. It also gives me an opportunity to build some momentum coming into playoffs, because I did have a loss week 5, and I've won the last 2 games, but if I win the last 3 games of the season, that builds a little bit more momentum. A loss before playoffs would really suck, because that would kill all my momentum that I've been building. So this match is still important, even though it technically doesn't matter in terms of standings or in terms of placements. Another reason why it matters is because Porygon is actually 4 kills away from being the MVP of the season. So if I'm able to get him 4 kills this game, not something that I'm going to really prioritize in the sense I'm not going to try and sell the game to get him MVP, but if I can get him 4 kills, that'd be amazing, and he deserves MVP because he's been so good throughout the season. But with that being said, we are up against Spam, who is the substitute for Dormasuda for the last 2 weeks of the season, and he actually wasn't able to play his week 7 games, so his only match of the season actually will be against me here. So it would be nice to beat him, just because we don't want to let him get bragging rights about beating me or anything like that, because he's a singles player, and it would feel bad if he beat me. So the goal is to win this week, obviously, even though it doesn't matter, but to me it does matter, and to me, I'm still going to be trying very hard. As you can see with this Ursa set, it's a very legit set. I'm not running anything gimmicky or weird this week, really. Just running some slightly unusual stuff and slightly unfamiliar stuff for me, I guess. Though there are a few sets that I have run before and they didn't feel as good as they should have been, so I'm trying them out again just to hopefully rebuild my confidence in them, and hopefully it'll let me feel a little bit better coming into playoffs. And it'll also serve as a reminder to my opponents about all of the potential sets that I can be running on these Pokemon, so they have more options to consider. And hopefully it'll set me up for success in round 1 of playoffs at least, but beyond that as well if I make it past that. So without further ado, let's get into the team and let's look at Ursa Blood Moon, a Pokemon that has been iffy all season for me because I haven't been using him great, but last week I really showed how good he could be, or he really showed how good he could be, so I'm excited to hopefully make him work this week, especially with a set that I haven't run ever on him actually, which is the Calm Mind Leftover set. A set that's pretty standard actually, or was very standard in Reg H. Blood Moon, Earth Power, and Hyper Voice also on this thing is a little bit less standard, I guess, because I typically saw Vacuum Wave on this thing or Protect on this thing, but all 3 of these moves is just really good. I mean, Blood Moon and Earth Power makes a lot of sense, but Hyper Voice is just kind of hard to ignore. It's just so good. It's really good into my opponent's team because it doesn't have a ton of defensive mon, so I'm able to kind of get some nice chip into everything, especially with that max special attack. Especially if I have 1 Calm Mind up at least, I could be in a really good spot actually. So I think Ursa is in a good spot this week, especially as the slowest thing on the field. The only mon slower on either side is his Coughing, which is something I could see him bringing, but I think we'll be okay. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Even if he does bring Coughing, I think Ursa will still be in a good spot. So with that being said, let's move on to Porygon, a great mon. Again, 4 more kills than this guy's MVP, which we're really hoping to achieve, but we'll see about that. The Eviolite item really helps this thing's bulk, and with the max Phys Def that I'm running, it should be very, very bulky. And with Terra Ground, I can transform that Terra Blast into a ground type move, which lets me hit Incin for super effective, which is the only mon that actually resists my Shadow Ball, and it lets me hit Stunjourner and Coughing and I think something else. So it's a pretty good move this week, or a pretty good type for Terra Blast this week. I then Recover on this thing helps the bulk again, and Trick Room is pretty standard just to help set up these first 3 Pokemon, especially for Trick Room. I think they can all be great in it. So before I move on to Sinistcha, I want to note that Download is the ability of choice this week, just because I can get a special attack boost, which would really make Porygon such an offensive threat. Nothing else here is actually that good for it. Analytic maybe if I'm trying to be out of Trick Room, but there's kind of no reason for Porygon to be on the field outside of Trick Room if I am, I can just click Trick Room, right? So, and there's no good abilities really to trace this week, so I'm just running with the download, and hopefully that should be good. But let's move on to Sinistra now. Running Heat Proof over Hospitality is a little bit interesting, but because of my opponent's Incineroar, I expect them to want to try and kill this thing as much as possible. I'm running Terra Fire. That's something that I might change, actually, but Heat Proof is a pretty good ability, so I think I should be in a decent spot with Heat Proof, especially because I expect my opponent to calc a little bit, to have a Dragapult or an Incin be running a little bit more. Actually, Hospitality is pretty good. I might run Hospitality on this thing in Terra Fire. Well, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So, Matcha Gotcha and Shadow Ball are my 2 attacks, and then Rage Powder is a really good redirection move because the Heracross, which is really threatening into the first 2 Pokemon, can't hit Sinistra, right, if I don't Terra. So it puts me in a good spot to be able to force him to make some tough decisions and maybe force him to reposition that Mon, which would normally be good, into my first 2. And so I think it's Rage Powder should be really good this week. And Trick Room is just obviously to set up Trick Room. Very, very standard moveset, especially with Citrus Berry and Hospitality Fire. I mean, all this stuff is very standard. Even this EV spread's pretty standard, but the reason I'm running this specific set is because it's something that hasn't really worked super well for me in the past. It's been okay, but Sinnoh just felt a little bit useless sometimes, felt a little bit iffy sometimes. So I think with this set, I should be actually in a position where Sinnoh can look pretty good this week. And if he's not great this week, that lets me know a little bit more about how I should be using it or how I should avoid using it in playoffs. Hopefully, this is just a nice test run for Sinnoh to see if this basic set can be good for playoffs, and that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Running more standard sets just to help me build confidence in certain Pokemon in certain sets. So Sinnoh hopefully should be good this week, but Blaziken is running a very different set, very unconventional set for it. Even though these moves are actually pretty standard, I think I've run all of these moves before, maybe, in my last 2 weeks, which is the only 2 weeks I've had it. I'm running AV. So AV is a little bit weird because it helps my bulk, and Blaziken's not a super bulky Pokemon, right? It's super strong. It has speed boost on top of fast speed, so this thing can be pretty fast, but why would I run a bulky set on a Pokemon that's so offensive? Well, the reason is because I think just by running the surprise AV, I'm able to live some attacks that my opponent would expect me to not be able to live. So I think Blaziken's in a pretty good spot for success here. Terra Dark knockoff really hits hard on a lot of things, particularly the Dragapult. He can get faster and faster. I think the Close Combat and Flare Blitz really hurt this thing's bulk, so having the AV and this little bit of investment means that Blaziken should hopefully be able to counteract that a little bit, and the Rock Slide spam is always good. Knockoff always hits hard, so I was hesitating bringing this thing or Florges. I opted for Blaziken, but I really could have gone either way. I felt Florges were a little too passive, but I still wanted some nice special bulk, so I went for AV on Blaziken. Not as good as Florges, but it is better in terms of offense, so I think it's pretty good this week. And let's move on to Volbeat. Volbeat Prankster is great, obviously. Only problem is if he does bring Coughing, that's really annoying for me because I'm not bringing the ability shield, but it's basically a call I'm making, just saying he's probably not going to bring Coughing. Even if he does, I think he's more likely to run Taunt. He also has Ulumise, so I'm running a little bit of speed on this thing just to outspeed his entire team, including Dragapult in Tailwind. I also have Thunder Wave, which is basically the same effect as Tailwind in terms of speed control, right? But Taunt as well, just to click Tailwind or Thunder Wave, then Ulumise, I should be faster then, and then I can taunt it, which would be really nice. And if it outspeeds and taunts me, I still have the Mental Herb, so I should be fine. I also do have the Encore, which is really annoying for my opponent. If he goes for Protects, or if he goes for any move on Ulumise, I can just Encore it into clicking, and then it's in a pretty bad spot. Terra Water is just because of the fire and rock types attacks. I don't want to open myself up to too many weaknesses, so Terra Water is a pretty good neutral type for me to turn into, right? And then Emperor is also coming this week because I think it'd be a really good water type as well. I think it's pretty good into most of his team. And the Terra Poison is for fighting, mainly from Heracross, and also grass moves that he could be running, and fairy moves on Tinkaton. Also a pretty good Terra target this week with the Covert Cloak, just because I think there's almost no chance he expects me to run Covert Cloak on Samurott of all things. So that's why I feel pretty comfortable bringing it. Also running Facade because I also really don't think he expects me to bring bring it. And I don't need to run the Lumberry if I run Facade, right? I expect Will-O-Wisp on Dragapult, or Ensign, or Thunderwave on Dragapult or Illumise, so Facade actually could be pretty good on Samurott potentially. Focus Energy Crit is something I ran week 1, but it didn't work out super well for me, and it's something I want to have the threat of bringing in future weeks, so hopefully I can make it work this week. And with max attack, if I'm critting, then he's in a pretty bad spot, so I can do so much damage with Samurai after I set up once, and Sinistra helps me set up, so I think Emperor could be pretty good this week. We're running this kind of bulk on this thing because we want to run more speed than Ensign. Also want to run max attack just to do as much damage as possible. 100 HP just because it's what's left over. And then sharpness is pretty good to make these 2 attacks hit much harder. Facade isn't sharpness boosted, obviously, but it doubles in power, so I feel like that could definitely be worth it if I do get burned or something like that. So this is the team for the week. It's nothing too crazy, but I didn't want to run anything too crazy because playoffs are next week, and so I want to save a lot of my good tech for that. But I do want to mix things up a little bit this week, so definitely going to try my hardest no matter what, even if it's not for anything technically. And I'll see you guys in the match. Hopefully we can come away with a win. What's going on, everyone? I already played game 1 against Spam technically, but he kept disconnecting and it was a whole debacle. I technically lost on time because my time was running while his was disconnected. It was a big pain, but anyways, we're in this game. This is the real game 1. That other game didn't count, so don't worry, you didn't miss anything. And yeah, let's get into it. He does have coughing, which is a little annoying. Illumise could be annoying here, but I think we are generally pretty prepared for what he has. So I like the idea of Sinistra Volbeat lead and Ursa and Porygon in the back, so we're gonna go with that. And it is Tinkaton Instant off the lead, so immediately threatening the Sinistra, right, with Fake Out especially, but I don't think he clicks Fake Out into it. I think he clicks Flare Blitz. So, oh cool, hopefully he's not going to disconnect more. I think I can just rip Terra Fire, honestly, and, well, Terra Ground and Terra Blast is pretty good here too, but, well, Fire is pretty obvious into this thing. I could just click Trick Room and then hope Thunderwave procs. I think I live unless he doubles up, right? So I could Encore him into Fake Out too. Okay, well, not if he Fake Outs that slot. He goes for Knockoff, which is great because I live, and I'm able to get Trick Room, so that's fine by me. Even though I lose a lot of HP, I can go for that. I can Encore. I don't think he's... I think Shadow Ball Encore is really good because it covers my bases, but perfect. Nice. And Parting Shot comes down with the Sinistra, which is fine. And we know that Tinkaton's going to switch, right? So Coughing comes out. That really sucks. Yeah, Coughing's really annoying. I want to bring out Ursa here, and then I'm going to taunt the Coughing because it's going to be annoying. Could also do something for the Tinkaton slot, but I think we'll just let him switch out. That's probably fine. Ursa comes out here. It is Ensign. He has Fake Out active. It's a Protect, so that's annoying, but I can now Encore the Coughing. I expect a Fake Out into the Ursa, which kind of sucks because there's not much I can do about that. But I can Encore the Coughing. And he has double Fake Out, which is really annoying. I could also switch into Porygon, but then I risk a knockoff into the slot, losing my Eviolite for no reason. So could also switch out, maybe I switch out Volbeat here into Porygon. I like that idea. Hopefully he switches out. He doesn't switch out. What? What is he going for? What? What? Okay. That was not a play I expected, but that's fine by me, right? Because I can pick up the kill on Ensign. I can Earth Power, which should kill this thing, right? Terra Ground, Terra Blast into... do I even need a Terra? I can probably just Terra Blast, right? Terra Ground is probably safer, right? Oh, cool. Who's he switching into? It is Tinkaton, so he's dead. And, oh, I shouldn't have Terra'd. I got goobed. It's fine. It's fine. His Spadef drops too, which is really nice. So this is actually fine. The only problem is he has a water type in front of my two ground types. So Kind of got me there. But I can do this and then Trick Room, and I should maybe live. I could also just stay in with both and just rip attacks, right? I kind of like that idea, just being like super aggressive. Oh, he missed! He missed! I got so lucky. Oh, I got so lucky. I got so lucky. I got so lucky. I should have gone for Trick Room, I guess, but I got so lucky. Oh, I just play super aggressively and I don't get punished. Oh, let's go. Instant comes out, Fake Out's active. That doesn't really affect this guy. Probably just Hyper Voice, maybe? I kind of want to switch into Sinistra and Volbeat, though. And then just, like, see what he goes for. Yeah, Hydro Pump's expected, and then Parting Shot is fine by me, right? I could have maybe gone for a double kill there, but I don't think that was really worth, so. Here, I can click Trick Room if I think he's not going to go for me, but he probably will, right? So I just go for this, maybe? Can he kill me? I don't think he can kill me. Why not just Trick Room and Taunt, right? Because he probably taunts the Sinistra. Maybe he does kill me. I don't know. Oh, he goes for this guy anyways. He can't taunt after the taunt. Oh, and Sinistra's in prime position. The only problem is he now can do something, but that's fine by me, right? I can just click this, and then I can even switch out, but I could also just Encore the coughing, right? So, he protects, that's fine. He struggles? Wait, I can Encore him in a struggle. I guess. Wait, that doesn't even do anything for me, but yeah, Encore fails. Now I can Encore here. I get a free switch into, let's say, P2, and then I can Encore this thing. So he's definitely going to switch an instant here, right? He doesn't. Oh, that's weird. Wait, what? I had Encore. Oh! Duh. Duh. Neutralizing gas. Duh. So Sinistra comes in here. I can heal back up. Oh, I can't heal back up. Damn. So that was a bad switch in too. He can't kill me, right? So I can just... I guess I can kill coughing at the cost of Porygon. I can also recover and Rage Powder. Or I could Terra Blast Rage Powder. No, but he's gonna protect, so I'm gonna recover Rage Powder. Yep, cool. And he probably Hydro Pumps, right? And he misses. Ooh, I'm getting really lucky. I'm getting really lucky this game. Damn, I'm getting really lucky. So Terra Blast is just obviously the best play now, and then Machi Gotcha. I'm getting so lucky. I'm just gonna say it to him, so he... Oh, nice. And then, I don't know if I kill here, but... Oh, Hospitality procs right away? Oh, I do kill, too. Oh my god, that's so good. That's so good. So, I'm in a position where I don't know if I can lose, right? He can kill Sinistra, though, but I can switch. I can switch into Ursa. And then at that point, I can just Terra Blast, right? Pretty safely. And then he can't kill me, so... Should be one, actually. And Porygon gets 3 kills, actually, which is really good. Porygon's a demon, man. And I got really lucky, bro. I can't believe Porygon dodged a Hydro Pump. And then Sinistra dodged one, too. I'm getting so lucky in a game that doesn't even matter, but... but it means Porygon for MVP. Let's go. What a game, man. What a game one. I'll say that. What a game one. Just add a little jovial energy. So I could go for a very different strategy if I wanted. I kind of want to try Samurott out for size. Volbeat's pretty good here. Yeah, let's try it out. And then Porygon in the back, and then I mean, why not, right? No, I don't know. Let's not full send that. Porygon, and then we can go Sinistra maybe too in the back. Yeah, this is not bad, I guess. He could just double fake. Oh, I forgot about this. He can play rough maybe, but let's Thunderwave here. I guess I can Terra, right? If I want to. Because I expect to play rough. Yep. Nice. That was exactly what I expected, and it worked perfectly. So now I can Tailwind. And then I can Aqua Cutter. I mean, with crit, that should just OHKO, right? I do so much damage into everything. Wow. So we're going to... He could Thunderwave on this thing, right? I could Encore him into play rough, maybe. I could also Taunt him. And cover for a switch out, too. And then Aqua Cutter here. Should just... I outspeed, so I should be fine, right? Yep. I don't need to click Tailwind this turn. That's a good lesson, just being aware of when you need to click Tailwind, because I didn't need to click it this turn. This upcoming turn, maybe I want to, right? Here, I probably want to. So it's just a good thing to be aware of. He probably targets down the Samurai here with the Rotom, I imagine. Or he could Protect, sorry. Either one works. But I can just Aqua Cutter here and Tailwind. And then I should be in a pretty good spot. Also, I ignore that -1 attack. And this is where Facade is clutch. This is where Facade is clutch. I can Encore him, right? And I have Facade now. So I don't want to reveal it just yet. Don't want to reveal it just yet. But I will go for it next turn. Or he's probably going to Protect, right? But either way, we can just kind of trap Rotom on the field once we kill Tink. I can also maybe kill with Night Slash, which would be so huge. So let's go for Encore, I guess. Or let's Taunt. No, Encore. Encore's probably better. And then I can Night Slash the Tink in case he switches. This should kill either way, though, right? Nice, cool. Cool, and I'm already burned, and so now he's Encored into a useless move, which is really good. I can also Taunt him, so he has to struggle. Can also Thunderwave, Dragapult, and Night Slash. Or I can Thunderwave here and then Facade, just to show off the tech. I could also Taunt here, so he's forced to struggle. But I think the Encore is fine. Let's go for this. He goes for Protect. That's fine, because I should do a lot to Rotom here. Oh, I do nothing to Rotom. Yikes, that does no damage? Okay, well. That's fun. I got lied to by Calx. We Thunderwave. Expected the Wisp. Well, I guess we'll just do this, right? I can also Encore. Let me just Encore this guy, and then I Facade the Rotom here. And so I guess the goal now is keeping Volbeat alive. He does Protect, so that's fine. He just wastes 1 Encore PP, and then at this point I can just hard switch into Port. Oh, wait a minute now. I can only Encore 1. Let me Encore Rotom here. And then Night Slash. Yeah. So, good news is Porygon's in a great spot here to clean up. Maybe I hard... No. Yeah, I guess I should have Encored the Pult, but now... Oh, you know what? That's fine. Because Porygon comes out here. Now, we can very easily Encore the Rotom here. And Shadow Ball. And I don't think there's anything he can do about this. I don't think there's a way he can kill Porygon. So I could also Trick Room here. Let me Encore the Rotom and Trick Room. Just to cover for like Protect or anything weird, right? I set myself up in a position where I win, guaranteed, right? So. Okay, cool. It should be a win. Right? Should definitely be a win. I would have won the other game. I want to mention, I don't know if I mentioned that, but I would have won. I had 3 monsters, 1, and his 1 was instant. It was just like very much cooked for him. So cool. He wastes that, and I can set up Trick Room for free. I could recover here at this point. I think the taunt is also an option, right? Because I think he protects. Well, maybe. Or maybe he fishes for a crit. I don't know. Let's taunt and recover. He does Draco again. Okay. I should be at a position where I can kill it now fairly easily, but taunt and Shadow Ball. Oh, he does protect. Damn. Okay, well I can Encore him into protect here. And then or I guess it's more valuable to Encore this thing, right? Even if he does protect on it. Nice. So he's just forced to struggle, I guess. And then I can just switch into Sinistra, Shadow Ball, and he's forced to struggle at this point. I could even Trick Room, right? And he can stall all he wants, but it's game over now. So okay, well, cool. And this is where Encore and Taunt is just so good. I was able to use it in a very impressive way week 6, and it showed its worth so much in this set. I mean, Illumise got completely shut down, Rotom got shut down, Dragapult got shut down. So many things just made useless instantly by Volbeat, and so Volbeat was great. Porygon got so many kills. Porygon was so good in this set. Samurott before the burn was great. After the burn, Facade wasn't nearly as good as I expected, but it is what it is. We still won pretty convincingly both games. I mean, 2 deaths across the set. That's pretty solid. I'll take it. Yeah, I already know that I am going to be the 3 seed no matter what, and so it was kind of nice to have a set that didn't really matter as much, but I will say that it was good to have this opportunity to feel a little bit more comfortable with my team. Also, it's fun to play a game without stakes just because I've been playing such high stakes games, and I will be playing up to 3 high stakes games in the next 3 weeks. So with that being said, I will see you guys in playoffs where we will probably be fighting either Alberta or Saline, but I'll let you guys know, and hopefully we can take home a win in round 1 to get us to the semifinals. See you guys there, and peace.